Daniel Siad was born into a Jewish Berber family in French Algeria. In 1980, he emigrated to Sweden. He was charming, multilingual, deeply connected within European fashion circles. Over the following decades, he built a career as a modeling scout, photographer, and financial consultant. He lived between Stockholm, Paris, and Barcelona. He traveled constantly Africa, Eastern Europe, South America. He also had a political side. He was involved in the movement for the self-determination of Kabylia in the Middle East. He presented himself as a diplomat and cultural activist. To the outside world, Daniel Siad was a successful international professional. But behind that image, something far darker was taking shape. Beginning in 2009, 1 year after Epstein's first conviction, Siad began corresponding with Epstein by email. The emails continued for a decade, right up until 2019, the year Epstein was arrested and died. In those emails, Siad described himself as a fisherman. He wrote in 2014, "In this business, I feel like a fisherman. Sometimes I catch quick, sometimes no fish. The fish were women and girls." Siad scouted in Poland, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Hungary, Bulgaria, Latvia, South Africa, Morocco, Cuba, and Barcelona. He approached young women with promises of modeling careers. He photographed them. He sent their profiles directly to Epstein by email. When Epstein saw a photo of a 16-year-old New Zealand model in Paris in 2015, his response was 2 words: too old. Epstein regularly transferred thousands of euros to Siad, deposited into a Dubai bank account. Siad was one of Epstein's most prolific recruiters, mentioned in over 2,000 documents. Identified by Jean-Luc Brunel himself as a scout or recruiter of girls and women for Jeffrey Epstein. At least 5 women came forward to accuse Daniel Siad of rape and human trafficking. The first was Ebba Karlsson, a former Swedish model. In 1990, when she was just 20 years old, she was lured by Siad under the pretext of a career opportunity. She found herself trapped in southern France. She was raped. She received death threats. It took her 36 years to file a formal complaint. She did so in February 2026, the moment she recognized Siad's face in the newly released Epstein files. A second woman, Juliette G., says Siad recruited her in Paris in 2004. She was flown to New York. Paz taken to a bedroom with Epstein. He groped her and told her her body did not meet modeling standards. By July 2026, 24 women had come forward or been identified by French investigators. 16 had already been formally interviewed. Siad denied everything. He told BFM TV in May 2026, "I trusted him. I believed he was a professional person." In February 2026, French prosecutors opened 2 investigations linked to Daniel Siad, one for human trafficking, one for financial crimes. His phones were monitored, his movements tracked. The evidence was building. And then, on July 20th, 2026, Daniel Siad was found dead at his home in Colombes, a suburb northwest of Paris. He was 69 years old. His lawyer said he had died of a heart attack. For the victims, his death was not a relief. It was a catastrophe. Juliet G. said, "Another link in the chain has disappeared that could have helped uncover the truth." Because Siad was not the first Epstein associate to die suddenly in France. Jean-Luc Brunel, who had identified Siad as one of Epstein's recruiters, was found hanged in his Paris prison cell in 2022. Epstein died in New York, 2019. Brunel died in Paris, 2022. Siad died in Paris, 2026. 3 men, all connected to the same network, all dead before justice could be served. Is that a coincidence? You decide. Jeffrey Epstein didn't operate alone. He needed people. People who would travel, who would scout, who would recruit, who would look a young girl in the eye and promise her a career. Daniel Siad was one of those people. He was never convicted. He was never jailed. He died before any verdict could be delivered. But French prosecutors confirmed the investigation continues. 24 women are still waiting for answers. The Epstein files contain 3 million pages, 2,000 videos, 180,000 images. The network is still being mapped. That was the story of Daniel Siad. This was Verdict. Watch Part 1 and Part 2 of our Epstein series. Links are below. Subscribe for new cases every week. Every case has a story. Every story has a verdict.